What's going on, folks? Nick from Golden Moto here again with another video with the 2018 KTM 1290 Super Adventure R. So today we're going to be doing a new to me bike setup, going through and hitting the baseline settings for all the compression, rebound, suspension stuff, and then all the ergonomics, you know, foot lever, hand lever, bar position, kind of the basic setup of a new bike. This was picked up used, so the original owner dialed in all of his settings, and now I'm going to go through and set them up for myself. I like to kind of start off always with the manufacturer recommended settings, usually right in the middle. KTM specifies, you know, kind of comfort, standard, sport, and two-up riding, right? Passenger riding. So I usually start off in standard, and then I will dial it from there. That's exactly what I did with the Super Duke. Now I've got it pretty much set right where I want it. I think the preload still has to be dialed a little bit on there, but it was pretty good at the track over the summer, and street riding's fine with it. This one we're going to be doing a little bit more comfort touring oriented than the Super Duke, which is very much my sport toy right now. So we'll be using the owner's manual to get all KTM's recommendations on kind of baseline settings for rebound, compression, all that. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start off with preload. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is compression damping. KTM uses a split fork design from WP, basically meaning compression on one side, rebound on the other. So we're going to be turning it clockwise out as far as it'll go to reset it to 0. I'm going to be using the standard settings for basically everything. Like I said, it gives me a good starting point. From there I can dial it however I want. I am curious to see where the previous owner had it set up. So I rode this about 400 miles back from Ohio with all these settings. It was really comfortable. So I'm curious what it was set at. I've already fiddled around with the preload adjuster just to kind of see where it was at, and that was at the comfort setting. So I'm going with the assumption that everything else was as well. But I'll still be taking notes on it just to kind of see where it was at for my own curiosity. All right, so let's get started. Compression, turn it out clockwise. All right, so now we're going to dial it in counterclockwise, 12 clicks for our standard setting. 1, 2, 11, 12. There we go, standard. Woo! All right, next we're going to be looking at the rebound dampening. So like I said, it's a split fork, so this will be on the other fork. So we, again, with this one, turn it out clockwise as far as it'll go, and then counterclockwise back. So, clockwise, we've got 1, 2, 14 on that one too. So I'm guessing he dialed it in himself and didn't just take it from factory. I'm not exactly sure what it comes with from factory. I know my Super Duke, when I got that, was all fucking wonky. The preload on both forks was, I think it was maximum on one and the least it could be on the other, and then none of the clickers corresponded. It was all messed up, and I rode that one back from, where was that? Southern PA. I picked that up all the way back up to upstate New York, so that was probably 200, 300 miles, something like that, with wonky settings on it. So that definitely felt a little goofy on the way back, and then after I got it here and dialed everything in, it calmed right down. So we're going to be turning this back to 12. There we go. Standard. Real easy. Boy, oh boy. All right, next we're going to be doing the spring preload on the front end. So I'm going to take a pen, because I know this is a little annoying if they don't have detents on there. I'm just going to put a little mark on both of them so that I can keep track of how many turns around this thing is gone. Yeah. All right, so we gotta turn it counterclockwise all the way. Start with this guy. And there's 5. Okay, so it looks like he had it on the standard setting. Yeah, so now we're going to turn it back clockwise 5 turns. So all right, so now we're doing the other one. We're going to take this counterclockwise all the way. And there is 5. So, ooh, we're going past 5. Haha. Maybe this guy did not actually set it himself. So there was 5.5 turns of preload on that one. Yeah, it's entirely possible this guy didn't set up his bike at all. Just like I said with the Super Duke coming goofy from the factory. It wouldn't surprise me if this one did as well. So that was 5.5 turns. Now we're going to turn it back clockwise 5 full turns. And we've got the indicator there at the bottom. There is 5 with the indicator at the bottom. All right, next we're going to be looking at the low speed compression dampening on the rear shock absorber. So we'll turn this one clockwise all the way to the last click and then out 15 clicks. So let's see where this guy had it. It's hidden over here on the side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 15. Okay, so he had it at standard as well. So 1, 2, 3, 15. There we go. Okay, so that was our low speed. Now we're going to be looking at the high speed compression dampening on the rear shock. So we're going to need a socket, and we're going to turn that clockwise all the way, and then, what is it, 1.5 turns out. So, So that's 1.5. 1.5 turns counterclockwise. So that gets us to standard. Okay. Now we're going to be doing the rebound setting on the rear shock absorber. So this means we grab another flathead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we had the rebound was only at 8. Interesting. Okay. 8 clicks. Wow, okay, so that was literally stiffer than the maximum payload on there. Okay, so we're gonna turn it back out counterclockwise 15 turns. Man, 8. All right, 15, there we go. Okay. So last on the list is preload. And I know I already actually fiddled with this a little bit, so he had it set at 12. So I'm gonna just turn it right back to 12. Okay, there's all the way out, and then 1. There is a detent on this. It's really soft and hard to feel though. 2, 12. There's number 12. Boy, you can just barely feel that detent in there. All right, so that's kind of the, basic setup for all of the suspension. For now, it'll sit like that until the spring when I can get out riding it and dial it in a little more. We'll wait till once I get all the bars and everything torn off of there, get the bike down to the lightest that it's going to be, and then we'll set static and live sags in the front and in the rear. Probably write those numbers, you know, the number of turns corresponding to the front and the rear underneath the seat, so that I know how to set the preload for the lightest the bike will ever be. And then once I get the luggage and everything on there to get the heaviest the bike will ever be, I'll reset the front and rear static and live sags again, write those numbers down. That way I know when I'm bombing around on a fire road with nothing on the bike, I'll know right where to dial the sag to. And then once I'm loading the bike up for some touring miles, I'll know again how to dial the front and the rear to get the sag right to where it should be, so that it's always in the right spot. I did something very similar with the Super Duke, with writing all the numbers and everything underneath the seat, so I always know where to set it for where I like it on the track versus where I like it on the road. It makes it much easier to have something like that to reference, or you can just pop the seat off, grab your tool bag out of the back. I was able to fit the KTM tools right in there, so I can pull those out and reset all of the suspension settings on there. On this one, I still have to rip this big ugly charcoal can out so I can fit the tool bag in there. Clearly I got all the Wolfman luggage right there. I'll be able to have a big tool roll for touring and putting long distance on there. I have a little bit more of a robust toolkit with me, but for, like I said, just bombing around on fire roads and all that, I already ordered the kit to pull the whole SAS system out of here from Rottweiler, so I'll do that. And then have an area underneath the seat where I can just tuck in the cute little KTM toolkit that the bike comes with. If you liked what you saw, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. We're gonna have a bunch more stuff in the garage with this thing, and hopefully start doing some videos soon with the Super Duke over there, do some walk-arounds with that, show you everything that I've done to that before. And there's still a couple tweaks we're gonna be doing with that. That $3,500 Austin Racing titanium system has been a project for a while, and I've still got some tweaks I got to do to that, some modifications to get it to fit right. Yeah, that's a fun one. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks, folks. We'll see you later.